and welcome to Weekly Weird News. I'm Ben, I'm joined by Mike.
Hello.
And Claire.
Hey.
And today we're going to go through the world of weird that's happened in the last week or so. So what we got first then, Mike? A mystery tree beast turns out to be a croissant.
Fuck me.
This is in Krakow in Poland when animal welfare officers received a report of an unusual animal lurking in a tree. They were not sure what to expect. A quote said, "People aren't opening their windows because they're afraid it will go into their house," a woman said. But a visit to the area showed the creature in question was not a bird or even a reptile. It was a croissant.
How could they not see it was a croissant?
It's in a tree. I don't know. The Krakow Animal Welfare Society said the incident was genuine.
Fucking hell.
The organisation said its officers had asked the desperate caller whether the unidentified animal, which had been in the tree for 2 days, could be a bird of prey.
It hasn't moved in 2 days. I'm assuming it's not an animal, or if it is, it's dead.
I'm surprised it wasn't, pecked at by other birds, to be fair.
Yeah.
Nice juicy croissant.
Polish birds don't eat croissants.
Don't they? That's too French for me.
What the fuck's that? They eat stuff dipped in vodka.
Well, they're obviously equally as terrified by this,
Yeah. Which is ironic, considering Poland is like one of the homes of pastries, I'm pretty sure people should know what a croissant looks like. Unless a croissant is uniquely French.
Nah.
Well, they're either killed round or they're stretched out, aren't they?
True. The woman responded that it looked more like an iguana. Yeah, it looked like an iguana. Although the inspectors knew it was unlikely the reptile would survive the cool spring temperatures in the southern Polish city, they wondered if the animal could have been an unwanted pet abandoned by its owners. However, on arriving on the scene, the inspectors found the headless and limbless object in a lilac tree, a pastry, probably thrown out of a window to feed birds.
Or somebody that's come out of a hotel at fucking continental breakfasts.
Oh yeah, I hate it when you get screwed over with a continental breakfast.
Yeah.
It's fucking terrible, isn't it?
3-day-old croissant.
Yeah, I wanted
a bit of jam and a bit of cheese.
I wanted bacon. Just goes to show though, whatever you think of where you live, there's always a bigger idiot.
Well, there's a lot of bigger idiots here. The birds out are even not eating it.
But, you just think, we think we're surrounded by idiots. That woman thought a fucking croissant was an iguana.
An iguana?
The fact it hadn't moved for 2 days did nothing to dissuade her from this.
Or it wasn't green.
Or it wasn't,
Maybe it was green by then.
Yeah, that's true actually.
That's why the birds didn't eat it.
Yeah. But then you'd have had a load of birds tripping on LSD once he got ergot. That amused me. That's great. That might be the headline of the year for me so far.
Moving on. Woman claims she's been abducted by aliens 52 times and has bruises to prove it. Paula Smith, 50, says her first extraterrestrial experience happened when she was a little girl. Since then, she claims she's been abducted more than 50 times.
Why are these aliens abducting children?
Why are they abducting just her?
Yeah. I mean, in all fairness, there's not much else going on in Yorkshire. Is there?
No. Paula from Bradford, Yorkshire, shared images of bruises she says were left on her body by aliens following one abduction.
Ooh.
She's also drawn a picture of a silver alien to show what they look like.
Okay.
Let's have a look.
Terrifying.
Looks like a grey, doesn't it?
It's a
Average
grey.
grey, yeah.
It is a grey. But that still looks absolutely fucking terrifying. Then again, the greys aren't going to be cute and cuddly, are they? They're like advancing towards you with an anal probe.
I think I'd prefer that to a 10-foot reptilian, personally.
Apparently, from what I understand about listening to stuff and reading about alien abduction on Tinternet, you don't want the greys getting you. They're a bit more sadistic.
Right, okay.
You don't want to be abducted by the greys, apparently.
Bit kinky, eh?
Well, some people like it.
Well, so what are the reptilians doing? Just, they'll just abduct you and give you tea.
Yes.
Tell tell me about your planet over a nice cup of tea.
I'm probably going to skin you and eat you.
Well, maybe that's why the Rodrigo Timmy report slagging them off, because no one ever comes
exactly.
back.
Oh yeah, that's it.
At least the Greys drop you off with a fucking cord anus.
And bruises.
And some bruises. God, I bet you shit's co-pats, this woman.
Paula claims while she was on a craft, aliens showed her technology we didn't have. They showed me a slideshow of pristine scenery, which had a beautiful river, which then turned black.
Ooh.
The blue sky went blood red, and I soon realised it was a movie of the Earth being destroyed through man's greed.
Well, first of all, right, slideshows. She's saying they've got technology that we haven't got. We've got slideshows. Right? If they're showing her a slideshow, I'm calling bollocks, because surely they'd have some kind of holographic 3D projector shit in the air.
Well, maybe they didn't want to show her the
Show her the 3D print, show her the 3D hologram.
the technology they've got. So they thought, we'll just use the old projector.
Well, they got a projector from and slides.
They abducted a projectionist.
And secondly, who are these aliens to tell us how to run our planet, eh?
They're not telling us something we don't know already, is it? You know what I mean?
That's it. It was all about that.
Why are they telling her? What's she going to do about it?
Well, abduct Boris. Abduct Joe. Abduct anyone who's in charge of a country. Don't just go and abduct fucking Paula from Bradford. You tried to probe her and she asked if it was in yet. Probably. It's like... I mean, she looks a relatively normal person.
Yeah.
Looks can be deceiving.
Well, that's true. 50 times. I wonder what they want with her. See, if this had a little bit more to it, like they'd taken her ovaries and, like, when she was a teenager, taken eggs from her and then they give her, like, a weird hybrid baby to hold or
She's
something.
in the X-Files. She's just done the X-Files plot.
They got the inspiration from somewhere.
What do you want? They bruised her up, they knocked her about and showed her a slideshow.
Well, that's a date in Bradford. Slapping your date about and then taking the pictures.
I don't understand. The human is not responding to the dating techniques.
I would slap her around a bit and put a slideshow on. I don't know, man. It's weird. I mean, but don't think is those bruises. This is happening so she's 50. So let's presume this is happening at least once a year. Maybe 2 sometimes, because it started when she was little. They might have missed a few years.
1982 said it started.
So
40 years ago.
39.
Close enough.
No, it's not. I'm 38. I was born in 1983, and I don't want to be any closer to 40 than I already am.
Touchy.
It is a soft subject. Sore subject.
Well, if it's any consolation, look 45.
A good 45, though, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they bring it a little hybrid baby, Yeah, this is yours. It's going to rule the earth one day.
Well, she hasn't got a hybrid baby, has she?
Well, she should have one. It's this year's go-to accessory for abductees. Little alien hybrid baby in a handbag. No. Still, why is no one seeing this happen is my thing. It's like, so it's happened at least once a year. Maybe twice some years. Maybe it didn't happen for a few years and happened 3 times in 1 year. Whatever, we don't know. Why is it happening on a regular basis? Surely someone's noticed.
Well, I don't understand why she hasn't gone, into how long she's actually gone for. How do they take her, There's just no substance to this at all.
Why has she gone public now? Why didn't she go public in 1982?
Because the Daily Mirror never contacted her back, presumably.
They're getting low. They're scraping the bottom of the barrel, aren't they?
Well, you're absolutely right, to be fair, because everything is just the clicks now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anything is news nowadays because it's all about the clicks.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe that's it. But she's I got some bruises. Great. You could have fell out the stairs for all we know. No. Sorry, Paula.
Yeah, I don't believe you, Paula. Right then, moving on to Prince Philip. He had a fascination with the UFOs and collected books about aliens.
Nice to see the man's got a bit of substance rather than just being an outdated bigot.
Or they've just been a child-eating sociopath.
So, you know, he liked to keep himself busy, and apart from bird watching, he liked UFOs, and you wouldn't expect him to be into that, would you, really?
No, I'd actually heard something about this before. I listened to an interview with a guy called Timothy Good, who's a British ufologist, and he said something about it like this. Prince Philip loves this stuff, and that he used to send him copies of his latest book.
I think he's just researching his family tree.
Well, he's a regular subscriber to Flying Saucer Review.
Oh wow!
And has given his former assistant, Sir Peter Horsley, carte blanche to collect his stories about UFOs from the RAF.
I love that phrase, carte blanche. I give you carte blanche.
What does it mean?
Blank check. In
Oh,
French.
right, okay.
No, right. No, I just thought it sounds better in French. But presumably we'll be speaking soon, because after we lose the war for Jersey, we'll be speaking French in about 20 years' time.
And then Chinese in 30.
So in his autobiography, Sounds from Another Room, Sir Peter, who served as the Duke's... What?
Equerry.
From 1949 to 1956, says he was asked to bring witnesses to Buckingham Palace for private discussions.
Oh,
Now,
who's to them again?
Right, now,
They're under the roses.
I just want to point out, 1949 to 1956, you are in a massive UFO hotspot, UFO sighting hotspot. It's called especially the 50s in America, was called the Great Saucer Flap. There were UFOs over the White House, formations of UFOs over the White House. These things are being seen everywhere in this kind of time period.
What do you think they backed off when we've started getting more like technology to record them and stuff?
I think we met them. I think we had a deal with them.
Right.
We made some.
The Buckingham Palace over tea.
But there's one of the Timothy.
No
Good
evidence for that, by the way.
No.
Timothy Good in his book says an alien did meet with members of the Ministry of Defence, and there's a possibility that Prince Philip could have been there in that scenario.
As an emissary between him and his relatives.
Or maybe he wasn't there because he's a reptilian, and if they'd have turned up with a Draco, the alien who would be like, oh, what was his name?
Pindar.
No. Who was the Valiant Thor?
Yeah.
Who looks like us would be like, I'm not dealing with a Draco, and then spit on the floor and walk out.
Wasn't he the man from Venus?
He was.
He was.
That was bollocks.
Yeah.
Why must you diss all of it?
So,
Was that about Britain's... Oh no, that was...
he spent the summer of 2019 reading the Hult Perspectives, which tells a story of Rendlesham forest incident dubbed the Britain's Roswell.
Yeah, well, that's an episode one day. Yeah, Rendlesham Forest.
Some dodgy things around there.
Is it?
It's one of the few I don't buy. But it's interesting that he's reading that. And Colonel Holt was the guy who was in charge. He recorded the whole thing on his little dictaphone. So you've got and that's all been released and everything. So it's interesting that you can hear Chester, Showcat.
Well, it's interesting that he's obviously gone down a few rabbit holes himself, hasn't he, you know?
How long do you reckon he spent on YouTube going down UFO rabbit holes?
What do you think he thinks of the reptilian?
Well, that's it. It's like, hey, Liz, they reckon we're reptilians, and then she's like, preposterous, and then catches a fly in her tongue. Yeah. Interesting. I mean, I like it. I do. I like the fact that he was into this because it shows that someone... So if he's interested in it, and let's say that he's not a reptile, let's just assume that he's not. I know it's likely that he is, but let's assume that he's not. It means that he doesn't know if they're real, which means that the MOD does have stuff that even the royal family wouldn't get to know about. Because you'd think the Queen and him would have had, I'm going to say carte blanche, to know what they want if they wrote a request saying, tell me about the UFOs.
Of course, they can change laws in secret and do whatever they want. They run the country, basically.
So they'd have to send someone round to show him the files and tell him all about it. So if he's buying books about that, then clearly they won't tell him, or he doesn't know himself. Otherwise, because if you knew, you wouldn't read books on Rendlesham Forest, would you? If you knew what happened at Rendlesham Forest, you rang up the MID and said, tell me what happened. And they went, oh yeah, it was an alien craft, breached our radars, was hovering over that nuclear weapons facility.
Yeah, but you might still be interested in the other person's point of view.
Yeah, but he could get all that before the book came out.
Yeah, possibly.
You just read the report Holt wrote the next morning. So, it's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Do they know? Of course, it does show doubt on any sort of alien contact theory that I might have had.
Do you think he could have perpetuated the reptilian conspiracy himself?
You know what? I'd be selling the fucking merch, Claire.
Well, that's what I'm saying, you know.
Picture the Queen with lizard eyes or something. Fucking sell it.
Sell it. Why don't I just plant the seed? I'll have money rolling in.
Yeah. It's little known of all the merch the royal family sell with lizards on. They own massive shares in lacrosse, because that's a little alligator, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
What's
Gatorade.
Gatorade, yeah. Gatorade, what else is there? Lizard stuff? It'll come to me later on. Right.
Chewits.
Chewits.
Yeah.
Well, old advert
That is, but still a classic. Alright, what's up next then? Oh, Mike, you always know how to pick the news that'll cheer me up.
It's what's in the news, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's certainly weird. An underground tank is leaking massive amounts of radioactive waste.
Hey.
Great. Oh, it's alright, it's in Washington State. No, wait, it'll find its way to the sea and eventually I'll get it. Shit.
Yeah, that's the problem. We live on a global planet. It isn't just going to be confined to a region, is it?
No. According to a new report by the Washington State Department of Ecology, a massive underground radioactive chemical storage tank in the state is leaking hundreds of thousands of gallons of nuclear waste into the ground nearby.
Mix that in with the lead, go into the water, you know.
Yeah. On the plus side, I mean, your kids might get mutant powers instead of just the lead poisoning. It's something. I'm trying to find a shred of comfort in this. That's bad news. It's reigniting fears. Bad news. No shit, Sherlock. Reigniting fears the waste may end up in the Columbia River, one of the largest rivers in the United States, and which only runs 10 miles from the site. And this is the latest sign that nuclear facilities can cause grave environmental risks for extremely long periods of time, which is true. But, we're probably going to have to go more nuclear at some point.
We don't need it now. Like I said, if you fit solar panels in the whole Sahara Desert, it can power the world.
Yeah,
that's now.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that. They want to build another nuclear power plant instead.
Well, we can't get rid of the waste. Look what they're doing.
I'll be fine.
That island in Finland.
I'll be fine.
I talked about.
Be fine. Don't worry about it.
Every new build should have solar on the top of it, simple as.
Yeah. They can build houses now that give out more energy than they use.
Mike, we'll just wrap this stuff up in concrete and lead and we'll drop it in the sea. It'll be fine.
Blast it into orbit.
We should fire it into the sun.
No, because if it doesn't go out of the atmosphere and blows up off on launch pad, that's...
Oh yeah. Bad news.
Oh yeah. That would be like a dirty bomb raining from the sky, wouldn't it? Yeah, that'd be like Chernobyl times 100.
Yeah.
What
Even
about
worse if it explodes in the atmosphere?
I've got it. We used the fucking gun. There's a guy called Gerard Bolt who's Canadian, and he said he could get stuff into space more efficiently and cheaper than using a rocket, like satellites. And he basically built a massive fucking gun that could fire shit into orbit. We used that.
Same problem.
Yeah.
No, because it's just in a cube, it's in a projectile, it's not going to explode. Nothing's going to explode, it's just being electromagnetically pushed up the barrel.
The gun may explode.
Well, it might do.
Very unstable, isn't it? It's not exactly stable shit, is it?
Well, just throwing it out there.
The only way to do it would be a space elevator.
Well, let's make one of them. And then just kick it off the edge. Let it drift off.
And then we'll just have like rubbish. Because then they'll go, then we'll send up all our plastic. Then we'll send up all our, and then... Yeah, everything will be flying around the edge of the earth. Well, we've already got shit flying around the edge of the earth, haven't we?
Satellites, yeah. We might have to put shit in the atmosphere to block out the sun.
Multiverse.
In orbit. What What about the multiverse?
They just kick it into another multiverse that's not inhabited.
Yeah, it's all theoretical at the moment, isn't it?
Well, I'm just throwing it out there. The storage tank located within the Hanford site, a decommissioned complex in Washington state that made plutonium for nuclear weapons during World War II, holds 123,000 gallons of leftover waste. Some of this radioactive and chemical waste has been leaking into the ground at a rate of roughly 3.5 gallons a day. What's that? 8 pints to a gallon. 24 pints.
It's only a little hole, it's only a little
28
dash.
pints.
28 pints, or 28 pints of toxic waste leaking into your ground every day. Oh, this is more bad news. Other tanks in the area have already leaked an estimated 200,000 gallons of radioactive waste. Experts have ever believed the reality could actually be much worse.
So the first one starts leaking and they go, oh dearie me. They don't go, right, let's check the rest of them and make them future-proof. What is it? They just let it leak out.
Well, this is what 40 years of lobbying against the environmental agency, so they can do this without being fined for it.
Sadly, it does all boil down to profit. They built these tanks, they've started leaking ahead of schedule, and they've gone, well, we're not really supposed to replace them for another 50 or 60 years, so we won't.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to. It boils down to profit. That's an expense. That's the sad reality of it.
Can't the state take the company to court over it?
They can, but they've been, like I said, they've been changing the laws for 40 years in their favour.
And also, some of these companies who are storing this stuff might actually have a few senators in their pockets as well, or sit on the board. People who could block investigations, or at least
delay it.
Or at least delay it, or in some cases chair it and find nothing wrong.
That's something that might have happened here.
That's politics. To put it in perspective here, like an example here, we had a government round party table saying about further privatisation of the NHS. The guy that chaired that meeting was a guy that had massive investments in various private healthcare firms. So he's not going to say, yeah, let's keep it as it is, or let's do less. He's going to say, let's give more, because I'll get more money then.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They put these people in the positions to actively work against the public interest.
Yeah.
So that's why they put...
Like Boris Johnson.
Yes!
That's why Trump put that oil fucking baron in charge of the EPA.
Yeah. And he wanted to rely on good, clean coal.
Doesn't exist. There's a thing as good, clean coal. It's dirty coal or dirtier coal.
Yeah, but that guy from the coal industry gave him that briefcase full of money, said it was clean. So it is. Allegedly.
No, there's no allegedly about it. We know it is.
Well, either way, that's how it works, isn't it? That's why, in my opinion, politicians have to wear like NASCAR driver suits, where they have anyone who's giving them money should have their logo on their shirt or their suit.
Oh yeah.
See, these people are supporting my lifestyle, so I'm gonna.
Yeah.
And the second anyone says, well, I don't know, say they've got Mobil on their thing, they're an oil company, so I says, let's not let Mobil oil drill for oil in that environmental park. And they go, I think they should. No, your interests are conflicted.
You know, the lobbying thing, they put it, I think they invented it so people could, hold the government to account more.
Yeah.
But what's happened is they've locked the people out and just let the lobbyists in. So they sit there and write the laws of all the lobbyists, and then they just announce it to us and say that's the law.
Yeah, who are unelected, of course. These people are businessmen. Yeah. He's using our elected officials to change the laws for them, the stuff that affects us. That's why all our food shit. Food standards go down, don't they? Things like that.
Just got a picture of Boris Johnson in my head with a Dyson thing, and he's like doing an advertisement for one of their fans, and his hair's just like woo to one side.
Yeah, well, that's a great example. They're having a chat over WhatsApp saying, Dyson says, "Can you drop my taxes if I make these respirators?" And Boris is like, "Yeah, I'll sort it." That needs to be done at a governmental level, or told for him to just fuck off.
It's ironic.
Yeah, but he's buzzing off the power, and sort it. Yeah.
It's ironic it's sponsored by Dyson, who's full of hot air.
Yay! Oh, by the way, that leak, that leak that we were talking about? That's adding to the estimated 1 million gallons of tank waste already in the soil across the Hanford site.
We can kiss this world goodbye, can't we?
Yeah, that's why we need to get to space as fast as possible. Yeah, so basically that's terrifying if you live in Washington State. We'll be alright for a bit. Eventually it'll get to us. But yeah, if you live in Washington State, stop drinking the water.
Yeah, listen to Alex Jones.
It'll turn the frogs gay and maybe give you an extra limb. Or cool mutant powers. Your son might be Wolverine. That'd be pretty sweet. Alright, what's next then?
Corpse believed to belong to controversial cult leader found in Colorado shrine covered in glitter with no eyes.
Yeah, I've read this in the week. Sadly, the eyes weren't taken.
Yeah.
It's sensationalised.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
A corpse believed to be the leader of a controversial Colorado religious group was found mummified in a sleeping bag wrapped in Christmas lights with glitter around its missing eyes. The remains are believed to be of Amy Carlson, 45, known to her followers as Mother God, who was a self-proclaimed divine being from the group Love Has Won.
Clearly not in this scenario because they'd have buried her or cremated her.
The investigation into the corpse led to the arrest of 7 members of the group on various charges, including child abuse and abuse of a corpse.
Oh, crikey.
But no one has been charged for Carlson's death. The Seguachi County Sheriff's Office found the body on Wednesday after receiving a tip from a suspected member of the group, Miguel Lamboy.
Miguel.
The affidavit that said that Mr. Lamboy said it was obvious that Miss Carlson was dead because her eyes were missing. Not necessarily dead.
No. Although the next statement sums it up more.
Yeah, he stated the body appeared to be mummified with Miss Carlson's teeth exposed to the lips.
Yeah, that would give it away more.
The body was found in the group's headquarters, a mobile home in rural Seguachi County, with what appears to be glitter makeup on around the eyes and adorned with Christmas tree lights, the affidavit said. It expected that the eyes were missing due to the decomposition of the body.
They're just a bit sunken then, you think?
Maybe, or gone completely. Maybe they did
Turned to
take them
juice.
out, turned to juice and ran off into the sleeping bag.
If it was a hot climate, then it can take just a few weeks to start decomposing the body, can it?
Yeah. I'm guessing they kept her alive thinking she was going to resurrect. Kept her there thinking she was going to resurrect or something.
Mother God, Mother God.
I mean, you can have some fucking arrogance to call yourself Mother God.
Just a bit.
Let's be biodegradable glitter.
And that sleeping bag. Love has won. Well, not for her.
No.
Especially if they're getting child abuse and abuse of a corpse.
Yeah, not good, is it?
What have they done to her body?
Yeah, but let just, child abuse might not be child abuse. It might be one of these sort of hippie, sort of live off the land, and because these kids aren't wearing any shoes.
I see.
Social services have just ran in and been like, "Oh, we're taking your kids," because they just live in a different way. It might not actually be child abuse. So.
Okay, I jumped straight.
Let's go allegedly on that one.
I jumped straight to the worst scenario.
Because
Just as I'm jumping to the abuse of the corpses, what did they do to her corpse?
Are they wrapping her in, because they haven't treated her corpse like conventional people have treated her corpse, like would have treated a corpse. They're seeing it as, they put glitter on her, they've done this and whatever. It could just be something that they believe in.
Oh, they fucked her.
They fucked her, yeah.
Skull fucked her.
Maybe that's where the eyes went.
And in that case, they're dirty bastards, aren't they?
Yeah. Love has not won. Need to change her name.
Skull fucking won this time, man.
Oh man, you don't want a skull fuck.
You don't want to receive one.
No.
I'd rather give one than receive one, let's put it that way.
Yeah, still.
Moving on?
Yeah. Moving on.
Okay. Bill Gates will have to wait a while to block the sun.
He's not Monty Burns.
Apparently he is.
Oh, it's like Simpsons did just have a meeting with, one of the sort of maybe New World Order. They're like, right, what are we going to do? Isn't it?
Yeah. What's your plan?
A controversial Bill Gates sun-blocking experiment has been postponed for ethical reasons.
Oh! No shit!
Yeah, just rob us of vitamin D and, every plant growing.
Yeah.
So, concerned groups want a clear understanding of the consequences before the launch. The test was originally scheduled for June 2021, but will be delayed until at least 2022.
Oh, it's only been delayed then.
Yeah, got another year before the sun is blocked out.
Well, this weather this summer better be alright then, hasn't it?
It's going to be a last for a while.
So, just as quickly as it was announced, a controversial solar geoengineering experiment backed by Bill Gates has been postponed until 2022. Gates and other private donors are supporting Harvard University's solar engineering research programme, which had planned to launch a new study based in Sweden in June, researching the efficiency of
Efficacy.
The what?
The efficacy.
Efficacy of blocking sunlight from reaching Earth's surface.
Why would we want to do that?
Well, I assume it's to stop the planet warming up.
So the stratospheric controlled perturbation.
Call it Scopex.
Whatever.
Scopex.
Yeah.
The Scopex is aimed to see how tiny amount of aerosol with chemtrails in the trial would influence the immediate surroundings. But now Harvard say it's delaying the study to examine the impact on Sweden itself. Oh, so they're doing it on the Swedes. Bill Gates like, oh yeah, not here.
Yeah.
Oh, the Swedes will do it.
And to do it, it isn't like Monty Burns where he just puts up a big disc in front of the sun. They're putting chemicals in the air.
But aren't we not supposed to put aerosols in the air because that wasn't that what sped up the atmosphere, the ozone layer, the whole
yeah.
Like everything stopped being ozone and CFC and all that.
Yeah.
I'm still not down for this because it's like, well, you're going to block it all out. How are we going to measure this? And why is Bill Gates getting involved with it when everyone's already accused him of wanting to kill off some of the population?
So the Scopex experiment is thought to release just a small amount of aerosol mineral into the sky in a specific location. How can they guarantee that with wind? It's just preposterous. Yeah, but now they're looking into the ethical implications.
Oh, no shit.
Surely you'd have a vote on that, you can't just go, oh, hi Sweden, hi.
Hey, we're going to block out some sun.
Hey, Sweden.
I think every Swedish person should have a fucking say on that.
Yeah.
Especially considering they barely get any as it is.
Well, yeah, that's a valid point. Why don't they do it in California? That's always hot. Or in the desert. I'm sure they might be grateful.
Yeah.
So, yeah, solar radiation reflecting particles.
Thinking about it, we spent the last fucking 20 odd years blowing the shit out of the Middle East. We might as well block their sun out. So
Thing is, what do these things do when they get to Earth and they land in the water? Do fish eat them again and poison the fish?
So we just breathe them in. I mean,
who the fuck knows, man? It's insane. Let's just stop burning coal and fucking oil.
Nah, let's find a way to block out the sun instead. I'll build a giant disc.
We're dealing with psychopaths, aren't we? They've took the world to the brink of extinction. Their only solution is to
kick us over the edge.
Put shit into the air just to block the sun out so they can keep polluting. Oh.
I bet all the chemtrail people are going sick. Look, I told you so, told you so. They're just announcing it now. It's been going on for years, but they're just announcing it.
There's in the future episode, chemtrails. Ugh. A lot of crazy on that one.
I think there's something in it.
Well, if this, look.
There is.
There's obviously something in it. And the likes of my friend who's proper, he's Alex Jones on steroids, he'll be like, look, I told you so.
Mike, if you're going to argue for the case of chemtrails, I'm going to take your science officer badge off you because...
They just said he's doing it.
They're not doing it though, they were planning to do it and they're not.
Yeah.
How do you know that they haven't
done it in secret?
How do you know they haven't been doing it in secret for X amount of years?
Right, on the episode I will fucking put my skeptic's hat on and I will fucking school you both.
Ooh.
I mean, obviously I'm on the fence about it.
Oh, you were always on the fence!
I was always like, oh, no, chemtrails. But when you've got the likes of, now scientists, Harvard University are going, yeah, let's do this. It doesn't make it so preposterous. it tips the balance of probability.
Yeah. I saw something freaky as well. You know Wimbledon, the opening scene? The music's going, they're playing tennis, obviously.
Oh, the tennis tournament, right, okay, yeah. I thought, yes, Wimbledon?
Well, everyone knows what I mean, don't they? You don't mean AFC Wimbledon, do we?
Well, they might have done. I meant the town. Everyone just plays tennis in Wimbledon. I don't know. We've never been there.
Even them Wombles are playing tennis, and
Yeah, I was thinking Wombles.
yeah, and obviously it's got the picture of the sky above. From a certain date, you can see the change where it went from normal sky to chemtrail sky.
Can you?
Yeah, and every year since it's been that.
Ooh.
We're doing more jet traffic overhead though now. And
It's just weird how it just happens. Like, it's like blue sky, normal blue sky for like the first few seasons, and then like, I don't know, about 10, 15 years ago it just switched.
Yeah, because
In the sky you see these chemtrail things.
And I never
because
saw a
of jets
chemtrail.
going over.
I never saw a chemtrail when I was a kid. Sitting in the
You
back
did,
garden.
they were there.
And they
No,
disappeared?
it was a contrail, and they disappeared about from like 2 inches. If you held your fingers up with your eye and that, it's like 2 inches. But a chemtrail goes across like miles,
It's because there's,
and it stays.
because
and
there's
moves
more
funny.
jets and they all fly on the same path.
What they flying over my house for?
Because that's what they do. It's you're on a flight
There's no
path.
fucking flight path over here.
Of course there is. It's Birmingham Airport down the road.
Well, I think you've got a bit of cognitive dissonance going on there, but
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's got something going on.
Right. My Skeptics cowboy hat is going on big time. You know how often I wear that hat. Not very often.
It's just saying. I'm just saying the probability's gone up.
I think I agree with you, Claire.
I think you're both insane.
We'll see.
We will.
That could be your pick next then, chemtrails.
Yeah, there we go.
Alright, coming soon.
Yeah, fuck Michelle Obama. Is she a man?
I still would fuck Michelle Obama.
If she was a man.
She'd fuck you.
She'd give me a reach around. As long as I get the reach around, that's the main thing. It's just bad manners not to give a reach around.
Right. That bombshell.
And that bombshell. I'm Ben. Thank you very much for listening. Don't drink the flavour aid. Don't join a cult. Don't take out your cult leader's eyes.
I'm Mike. Thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you.
And I'll be Claire. Have a nice evening.